When listening to my audiobook, you're going to have a lot of questions. Now, these questions aren't going to make it hard to understand the book, but they're just going to be festering in your head. They're going to make you curious. I really enjoyed writing my own wrestling show, as it gave me free reign of everything, allowing me to be creative in every aspect. One of those aspects was naming my pay-per-view names. Now, although some names may seem a bit lame and generic, I think it's the reasons behind these names that make them really interesting. For example, my first pay-per-view, Impulse. Impulse was used as a pay-per-view name when I was 13 years old, writing my first ever wrestling scripts. As a result, it had to be number one for Impetus. Hellbound. Hellbound is one of my favorite Pantera songs of all time, and it's one hell of a pay-per-view name. Rebellion. Need I explain? To the Pain. A reference to my favorite band of all time, Nonpoint. Supremacy is not only a nod to one hell of a great Australian faction, but it's also a belter of a song by the band Muse. Unleashed is an amazing song by Skillet. Reign Supreme. Being a former king of pro wrestling, Sam Pullen promised the world that he would reign supreme over the business. Pressure. I couldn't have a list of my favourite bands without putting on the reggae rock group Skindred. Relentless. Not only a great pay-per-view name, but references a great opponent of mine. Insurgency. Proudly a one-week member of the Geelong Upstarts, I definitely condone the idea of rebellion. So there you go, just a few references and ideas behind the pay-per-view names. It filled me with excitement knowing that I had to come up with the next pay-per-view name. However, some of my favourite songs don't actually sound cool enough to reference them in the pay-per-view names. For example, So by Static X is a great song. It's just got a terrible name for a pay-per-view. I'm hoping to continue this trend, and hopefully it's as cool to you guys as it is to me.